Netorare, or NTR, is a narrative subgenre focused on the infidelity of a character's partner. It provokes intense emotions and controversy, yet its consumption has grown surprisingly in both Japan and the West. In this video, we will explore the reasons for its appeal, its cultural roots, the emotional impact it generates, and notable examples in anime and manga. In the end, we will understand why many fans seek it out and how the community experiences it even with humor. The term Netorare comes from the Japanese word netoru, to steal sleep, in its passive form, and literally means that the protagonist's partner is taken away. In practice, NTR describes stories where someone cheats on or seduces another character's girlfriend/husband. It involves emotional or physical infidelity that generates a great deal of dramatic tension. For example, in School Days or White Album 2, the plots revolve around romantic betrayals, arousing feelings of jealousy, betrayal, and pain in the viewer. In short, NTR is based on the assumption that a relationship breaks down due to the appearance of a third party, something that many perceive as the ultimate betrayal in love. NTR stands out for provoking very intense emotions in those who consume it. Betrayal in love awakens jealousy, sadness, and despair, which are very deep conflicts in human beings. As Amo Sugoi points out, in a society where loyalty and trust are essential values, the act of stealing a loved one provokes strong emotional reactions. In fact, this search for emotions is confirmed by observers of the subculture. As a common explanation points out, NTR seeks to arouse feelings of jealousy and hatred. It is always extremely heartbreaking. That is why many fans admit that they enjoy reading NTR more when they experience the story from a distance, without being directly affected themselves. Intense emotions. NTR exploits primal feelings, jealousy, anguish, rage. Those who consume it often acknowledge that these stories of infidelity feel sad or somewhat depressing, but that very fact causes the brain to release adrenaline or endorphins, making them addictive. For example, one fan comments that the purpose of the genre is precisely to provoke hatred and jealousy in the viewer. Taboo and ultimate betrayal. For many viewers, NTR allows them to experience a taboo in the form of entertainment. The idea of stealing someone's partner is considered socially unforgivable, which adds dramatic friction. The feeling that my partner is the ultimate loyalty causes this genre to clash with ideals of romantic purity common in otaku fandom. According to TV tropes, a large part of the fanbase focuses on ideal and chaste relationships, so seeing that purity broken generates a strong emotional shock. In other words, NTR is the reverse of idealized romance, and for some, it is precisely that shock that is appealing. Safe distancing. A key factor is that the experience is fiction. The viewer observes the infidelity from the outside, without suffering it personally. This distancing makes it a guilty pleasure for some. In fact, a typical humorous comment among fans is, "As long as it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't affect me." This phrase ironically sums up the attitude of those who consume NTR. They allow themselves to feel morbid curiosity or excitement as long as they know that it only happens in someone else's story. Power fantasy or masochism. NTR fits in with certain universal sexual fantasies. It is common for readers to identify either with the seductive third party, feeling powerful, or with the betrayed character, enjoying the drama of being a victim. Technically, Netorare is equivalent to the concept of cuckold, a protagonist who is powerless in the face of his partner's infidelity. Some academic authors have pointed out that the popularity of this subgenre is related to this dynamic. There is a component of masochism, pleasure in one's own fictional humiliation, or domination, pleasure in the role of the seducer. This psychological duality is enormously charged for the reader. Another key aspect is the narrative. NTR relies on highly dramatic structures, love triangles, secrets revealed, emotional blackmail, etc. These elements add constant tension. In addition, many creators pay special attention to detail. The erotic art is usually high quality and the development is intense, which amplifies the impact. Unlike lighter romances, NTR keeps drama at the core of the plot. Even in anime rated for all audiences, it is often subtly hinted at, for example, in school anime subplots. Culturally, NTR has generated debate in the otaku community. According to analysts, this genre provokes discussions about its moral and social implications. Some critics consider it to reflect toxic love or sexist views, as it often portrays women as easily seduced and men as helpless. Other fans argue that it is simply a fantasy that does not reflect reality, similar to reading horror or dark fantasy. Noti Anime points out that perceptions vary by region. In Japan, it is seen as a valid genre that explores taboos, but elsewhere, reception is more polarized. Even so, its growing global consumption shows that many audiences are open to unconventional narratives, especially if they offer psychological depth. In short, NTR remains a mirror of real anxieties, jealousy, betrayal, that some viewers study with distance and curiosity. School Days, anime and visual novel, extreme narrative of school infidelity, ends in catastrophe. It has become a benchmark for NTR due to its plot of betrayal and violence. White Album 2, anime and visual novel, serious romantic drama. A love triangle with painful decisions and deception. It places the viewer in the anguish of seeing a character lose their love. Kuzu no Honkai, Scum's Wish, 2017 series about the complexity of human relationships. Two teenagers in love with other people establish a relationship based on loneliness and mutual deception. The scenes of infidelity and the dialogue laden with frustration make it a clear example of NTR. Netsuzu Trap, NTR, 2017 Yuri anime, and manga. It tells the story of how two friends secretly cheat on their respective boyfriends while keeping their partners in the dark. It is famous within the niche for mixing lesbian romance with the classic NTR element. The protagonists steal each other's girlfriends without them knowing. Other famous titles: Kimi Gie no Zomo Ion, Rumbling Hearts, Domestic Girlfriend, Yasuda no Sora, Golden Time, among many others, have included infidelity routes or scenes that shock fans. All these examples highlight how the genre ranges from romantic dramas to explicit erotic content, always with a core of romantic betrayal. The NTR fan community is very passionate and often polarized. On the one hand, there are those who detest it precisely because of how disturbing it is. On the other, many see it as a guilty pleasure. The internet is full of memes and debates about it. As one fan said, NTR is the anguished cries of someone who thought they didn't like it and couldn't give it up. Noti Anime points out that for some, NTR is an opportunity to analyze emotional dynamics in a safe way, while others find it too uncomfortable. Amidst jokes and discussions, there is a recurring joke: "As long as it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't affect me." This phrase humorously sums up the position of many viewers. They are curious about the plot and drama of other characters, but emphasize, with a smile, that they are fine as long as it remains someone else's fantasy. Ultimately, NTR provokes everything from ironic laughter to intense debates about tastes and limits in anime. Ultimately, the popularity of NTR can be explained by its ability to shake viewers up. It arouses jealousy, sadness, and an almost morbid curiosity by exploring extreme betrayal. Its appeal lies in offering very strong emotional experiences in a fictional setting, exploiting cultural taboos, such as loyalty in a relationship, to generate empathy or catharsis. In addition, its global distribution on digital platforms has made it easier for audiences around the world to access this drama-filled content. Although it is not a genre for everyone, the NTR phenomenon shows that many fans are looking for stories that challenge them emotionally. It may be considered controversial, but it has left an indelible mark on otaku culture. Ultimately, understanding the popularity of NTR tells us about the diverse tastes of the audience. Some prefer lighthearted romances, others immerse themselves in the darkest romantic conflicts, and many enjoy a touch of humor thrown in, as long as it doesn't happen to me, of course.